We begin with breaking news from our nation's capital. The U.S. Senate has voted to acquit former President Trump in his second impeachment trial. The verdict, on a vote of 57 to 43, included 7 Republicans joining all 50 Democrats to convict, but it was far from the 2/3 threshold that is required. One of the 7 Republicans to vote guilty was Louisiana's own Senator Bill Cassidy. In a video statement released shortly after the vote, Cassidy was blunt in his reasoning.
Our Constitution and our country is more important than any one person. I voted to convict President Trump because he is guilty.
Cassidy voted earlier in the week to allow the trial to continue during a floor vote on whether it was constitutional to hold a trial for an already removed president. Though Trump was acquitted today, the vote marked the largest number of senators to ever vote to find a president of their own party guilty on an impeachment charge.